Okay. This might play off. This is gonna play off the suicidal thing. Okay. When as I mentioned, I was watching Jesse Michaels and Chris Bledsoe week up. Then, like at the 30 mark, they're talking about the Adjustment Bureau, which is like a time traveler movie and how they had to adjust things so everything goes according to plan and stuff like that. That's where I stopped at. And today, I'm cleaning up my place. I'm doing all that. I'm listening to it. And when I'm listening to it, everything he's starting to say is everything I'm saying. So as I'm going to say, no dot is original. Even though I feel like there's no dot that is original. There's no dot. That's original because somebody's going to have it. Depressing, but it is what it is, right? So he's saying everything. I'm pretty much like getting at, like, the guy mentioned some guy in the past who said basically. That's the crazy thing, because I made a thumbnail of an ocean and a fish and then space, and it's basically like it's a thumbnail for the Big Bang is the simulation's inception. So basically you see space on the top, which is the simulation, and the water, the ocean, and the fish, basically consciousness. And we got the guy said basically that some guy in the past, I don't know how long in the past, but he said it in the past. So blah blah blah, nothing's original. Fuck my life, right? And he talks, I'm watching. He's like, okay, fuck, everything he said. I mentioned. As soon as I did the Adjustment Bro, as soon as I heard that, I did the podcast of the suicide. I haven't posted yet. I'm right now, like 3:46, 1:10. As soon as I'm done with this, which I'm trying to be quick because I gotta get ready to sleep and get ready to sleep for work. And right, and I did that, and I did the podcast, blah blah blah. It's dark, right? It's very dark, and it talks about death and how it might not mean something. And I also mentioned how maybe suicide might be a good thing. It may not be it might be a bad thing. It might be a good thing. Depending on the situation and how the spirit might play a part in the soul's path. If this obstructs say a path they want to go to, then you could essentially ruin that, and they might want you to find a way out of the simulation. And sometimes it's like, oh baby, this is I explain it in there, right? Very negative, very bad. Don't do it. This is a person who might be going insane. So don't listen to a sane person. Your life is valuable. Do not do nothing stupid like that, because it's you not only hurt yourself. You will hurt yourself, but you'll hurt the people around you because you love you and all that stuff. Right? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so I'm at the end of it. It's like I'm like at 3:14, 3 hours and 14 minutes, and it's 3:27 before it's week. And they're talking about some fucking language. I don't know what they're talking about. But he mentions the thing that they have. They said they have a patent of a thing where you could erase somebody's memory. And I go back to the Russian Prime Minister, who said the Men in Black movie is more closer to reality than people think. Even though he said it in jest, and if you want to believe that as him, joking, cool. But if you want to believe like me, where he's probably spinning some facts. And if he's saying Men in Black is the movie where Will Smith, and I forgot whoever the fuck the guy is, I don't know. We all know Will Smith and whoever that guy. That's I don't know. Now I have to. Now I fucking. I know his name when I say it. Watch when I see it. I'm gonna know his name. I'm like, yep, that's the guy. Tommy. Fuck yeah, there you go. See that? Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah. Right, and they had this. If in the movie you see it, there's a thing where they point at the person and says, "Hey, you're gonna forget everything," right? He said there was a patent for that. For that actual thing, and the Russian guy said, Prime Minister said, it says, Men in Black movie is closer to rad than people think. Prime Minister of Russia said that, and they also forgot where I saw it at, but also said some Russian people, maybe KGB or somebody, like some official, somebody said like inside the nuclear bomb is also, I think it was Russian, if not some UK guy who hacked into the Eureka. But they said inside the briefcase is list of alien people who are in the government. Right? Okay. So the Men in Black, the thing that they have where they make you forget everything, forget a memory. At least in that case, they want you to forget the thing you were at and witnessed, or the time they spent with you and stuff like that. And he said there's patents of that. Chris Bledsoe, the Jess Michael podcast he had, and he says they had patents of that, and he saw the patents of that and stuff like that, right? And I mentioned in the week, I believe there's I believe in reincarnation. So if when we die, we're gonna go back. And the other thing that's been bothering me, I guess, maybe it was, I forgot what, but it's like, I just like whatever, past whatever I watched, like when I was younger or whatever, is why do we? I believe that reincarnation and I believe we had multiple lives to where we are right now, and it's like, why did we forget that? Right? And I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking, as I said, souls are the main characters, spirits are the people who help progress the souls and whatever story they need to get out, right? Spirits are AI, and they have with the simulation. So spirits are the part of the simulation which created what the soul is, but in the simulation, so the spirit and stuff like that. So essentially, just say if maybe I'm a spirit instead of a soul, and just say I'm a spirit. Whoever's the main character in my existence is, I will play a part in their story. I will not be the main story. I will be part of whatever story they are going through and stuff like that, right? And I'm watching this, right? So that's what I'm thinking, right? I'm watching this and he's talking about that how it erases the mind. I'm thinking, how come we don't remember that? And sometimes I feel maybe in dreams we'll get a glimpse of that, of our past, or whatever, past, present, whatever, or other places in the universe and stuff like that, and stuff like that. Maybe that's us gaining the information that was erased from this thing, which I think already exists. And now the question is, why are we forgetting? these things while we're figuring our past. It could be, to me, it'd be like, okay, so see, here's the thought, because now just as I'm thinking, I just thought of something else, right? So the thought process just went somewhere else too. So here I'm gonna be doing what the first thought I was going to go with, which is what if when we die? What if just I'm a spirit? Boom, boom, boom. I'm playing a part in the main character's story, which is the soul, and bam, I go out, right? I play a part and I go out. Damn, where the fuck I was going with that? I played a part and I died. Boom. Oh, okay. So I played a part and I died. So they already know, the adjustment bureau and stuff like that. And as I mentioned, the suicide thing, they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And it could be the idea of free will. So you see where I'm going with this, right? So your part is your spirit, and all of a sudden you're going along with the story and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden you die because that's how life played out for you, because they already have everything situated. The only difference is, we gotta sometimes move things around because somebody decides to off themselves, or somebody decides to go off script, or wherever the case may be, somebody starts to glitch out, or whatever, whatever the case may be, and these other people have to come in. The adjustment bureau has to make sure everything's correct, so that the main character still could go to a path that finishes what story he needs to finish, right? And I think maybe the deletion, what I mean by deletion. The deletion is the sense of free will, where you could just interrupt that, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Right? And I'm thinking, as I watch this, I'm like, what if? Because I think it was like one of those. If you watch I think it's The Matrix. I'm not, because I haven't watched that movie for so long. They call and they fucking just, they call the phone and they're just gone, right? And they go back to they're ripped off from the. I think they could jump to people, and as soon as they call, boom, they could get ripped off, right? Ripped off the simulation, right? And then obviously they're back to whatever place they're kept hostage in the machine world. It's fucking dark. As I said, you are loved. Do not do this. I am crazy. There's a chance I'm very crazy, and what I'm saying is a sane person. So understand, you are loved. Do not do this. Don't take this as recall or as something. I am fucking crazy, right? What if deletion is free will? Because you're interrupting the timeline, and they're like, and instead of, that's what I'm saying, and that's where that other document, instead of your mind being erased, because the powers, whoever controls the memory erase, can't erase because you just disrupt the timeline, and they didn't expect that, and you're pulled out from wherever. You're in a simulation. You're the spirit, so you're in a simulation, and you're fucking maneuvering through the simulation, and trying not to get caught, whatever, like the fucking Matrix, trying not to get caught by the simulation, and you find ways to do that because recall, whatever, right? So you're able to retain your memory, and the simulation won't be able to erase it. And now here's the thought that came to me, the other one, right? That I was thinking, when I was thinking, I'm like, oh shit. What if, okay, so we just say, spirit, you die, boom, blackout, you put it back in, but you're not able to retain the information that you got from here, because once you enter a new vessel, it's already you like, just like you're passing through a wall that erases all the information, and then you're like, boom. But not all information is erased, because somehow you can still retain it, because if you're able to integrate into the simulation, you'll be like, oh my god, this is the past life I used to have, and stuff like that. Because the Akashic records, you could be able to go into the Akashic records and say, oh, I had several lives, this is the blah blah blah, this is my living recall. And the only reason I forgot it, because as soon as I died, I went to a different vessel, and the vessel just wiped out all of my information. And maybe the deletion thing is more or less of they didn't plan it, and you just ruined everything that needed to be done for the main character to proceed. And I think also the soul could be trapped in that too, where it's same theory, where if it goes into a fucking vessel, it can erase everything. I don't think it will erase everything to that degree. Maybe suppress it or some shit like that, or whatever. And maybe the reason why we able to, maybe some people who say they have like there's a song, from Kendrick Lamar's album GNX, the new one, where he said he was a singer. He was in a chicken house or some shit like that, and he was a drug addict and stuff like that. He talked about how he had several lives. He was a king of Egyptian or some shit like that. And he says he has multiple lives and stuff like that. And maybe the reason why he got erased, his memories erased, because he entered to a vessel, and as soon as the vessel entered, he went past the wall and erased everything. But because he is part of a soul, that he's still able to retain all that information. Only this simulation is able to distort it to a degree, and whatever the case may be. And with the spirit case, it just, you're able to go into the Akashic records and recall. I think the souls too. Maybe not the souls, maybe. Yeah, I think the souls, because it would be like, because it'd be their creation. The reason why they couldn't is because the simulation became so beyond the recall that souls don't know the whole, equation to get through it and stuff like that, right? So as I said, crazy man, Sam, do not listen to me. You're loved, you are appreciated. Don't do this, don't do that. This is just a thought experiment. When I heard him say that, I'm thinking, is that the, because I was like, is that why the souls, there's, because there's like this we didn't know, right? When we were kids, the mobile home we used to live in, when my mom and dad bought it, we didn't know this, but when they bought it, they said that some lady was inside the closet in the main bedroom, and she deleted herself. And we didn't know that because we were kids, and our parents didn't want to tell us that, right? And until this, my sister's friend said, there's a lady here who deleted herself and stuff like that in this closet. She did it in this closet and stuff like that, and the parent, my mom and dad didn't tell us this, and they were kind of mad because saying like, don't, what you recall. And I just remember there's like, those ghost adventures and stuff like that. You're like, oh, they're full of shit. When my mom went out with her sister, summer partying, I don't know what they did, whatever. And my sisters were in the room. I was in like the second living room, and I was playing video games, and we had a little dog, and it kept barking at the closet, and it wouldn't stop barking at the closet. And if you know Las Vegas, if you don't have air conditioner and it's during the summer or any part where the heat's any part of the month that the heat's still going, you're sweating. If you don't have no heater in the middle of the night or during the night when you're going from no matter what, so you're sweating your shit off. I'm saying it's so bad that if you don't have no, there was a time where I slept and we had no air conditioner, and when I woke up the next morning, I thought I pissed myself, but it was because of how fucking hot it was. That my whole fucking, from my shirt to my pants, shorts, I was wet. So that's how hot it is. And I remember how hot it was because my armpits were sweating, and I just remember the whole house just became cold, and I was shivering, and I called my mom, and we were all freaking out because dog was barking at the fucking closet and stuff like that. And this goes to say, that lady deleted herself, and maybe she was able to retain her memory, but maybe that spirit knew if she goes into a body, another vessel, shit's gone. It's gone. All that memory that person got, it's gone. And maybe that's why they linger. Because maybe because how it's tragic and stuff like that, something tragic. Maybe you're not able to go in the religious sense. You're not able to go see God, or they're too afraid of what happens if they do. God's gonna say, yo, you look down there. You need to see the homie down there. It's stuff Eureka, right? And or maybe because as I was thinking, I think if you're soul, you matter. We're all souls. I think if you're consciousness, if you're conscious, I think you're a soul. If you're a spirit, there's a chance you're a simulation, and you're probably playing through the fucking emotions and shit like that. And right, and I think, yeah, as I was saying, yeah. But if you're a soul, you matter. And I think we're all souls. So you matter and stuff like that. I think if you're a spirit, it kind of is like we call it. And I think, I don't know where I was going with that. I keep when I say that, it sounds kind of fucked up. And I also believe like, because in my other one that I'm gonna post, I think right after I'm done with this. I try to use a caveat saying I didn't do it myself, but my mother tried to do it, and then I don't think that's a like a I have more credence to talk about this or not, because I honestly don't think if you experience something or you might have a better understanding, but I don't think it gives you any more I say credence. I would say that, I guess. Any any more validations, because validation of you speaking is maybe you have more recall. I don't know, like credence, I guess. Is it credence? Credence? Yeah, permanently believe in, gives you more credence to talk about. So I don't think so, because I will mention, because I will mention something where somebody said something where they said because I don't have no kids, and somebody who had kids, so yeah, that figures. You wouldn't know because you don't have a kid. Because if you had a kid, you would understand the pain and then the recall like that. And then I'm like, and I replied to that comment. And said, are you? Because here's the problem with people who can't think for themselves. They can't think for themselves, so they reiterate some bullshit somebody said because they think they have. Because they think they're thinking, they're not fucking thinking, because they're all about emotions. They're not really thinking, because if they're really thinking, they will question everything, and they're not fucking thinking. But this person said, oh yeah, because you don't have a kid, so you wouldn't understand that. I'm like, are you fucking yeah, I put a comment that says that's how I know you can't think for yourself, because the person you just said that the person you don't like and we call has kids, and he did that fucked up shit. So what the so obviously, so what are we talking about? If that's the case, then that guy just disproved your whole thing. And I think like there's also like, yeah, I mean, you could be like, there's judges who deal with people who don't treat their kids right. It's like they might not have kids, but they understand, hey, that's a bad fucking mom or dad, so let's keep them a fuck away, and we're gonna make that decision because, you know, fuck, you don't have the best this outlook for the kids. You're more concerned about you. So I at the same time, when I say that, I don't think I have any right to say. So if you come in here and say, oh, bullshit, this you have it right, even if you didn't ever experience it, or you know anybody, whatever, I think wake up, because in reality, I'm just trying to do that to protect myself, blanket myself, because I understand that stuff is very fucking difficult to talk about. And just saying something like that, saying it's okay, it's fucking dark. But in a sense, I just wanted to say that too. I think, you know, maybe I also want to say this just in case, you know, FBI or CIA or any like Men in Black or anything come and get me, try to, you know, fucking take me out because maybe I'm coming close to the truth or whatever. I am not thinking of these, you know, of these any suicidal thoughts. But listen to this. There's a lot of people who did some shit where FBI or CIA came up to them and decided to, allegedly, well, there's like the Martin Luther King, who I think the CIA FBI killed him. Yeah. So think about that, right? CIA, very much into the alien stuff. Get that person out. Use the thing where we erase his memory, and when he goes back, he ain't got shit to remember, because he's fucking blanked. So, you know, I think they're also dark. I forgot where it is, but there's places where you could get assistant deletion. And maybe that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? God damn. So I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna get back to it. Maybe that's a bad thing, assistant deletion, because essentially you're opting out, and you're letting them know I'm opting out. Instead of doing it where they are not aware, they could be aware, but they're like, when is this fucker gonna do it? When is, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, fuck, and then boom, they happen. And then all of a sudden, the whole timeline shift, and they gotta figure this shit out. And they gotta figure out if you could capture this spirit from going to another one or to another recall, or wherever the case may be, or, you know, or retain a memory, or where would the fuck spirits go? If it's a soul there, I would like to get your shit on it, because it's a soul, and, you know, souls, maybe these souls could get trapped and forget things, because there's that thing, some guy, I forgot what his name is, but he talks about Mars and how, no, not Mars, the moon, and could be a soul harvesting thing where it keeps the memory, you know, it keeps erasing the memory, or keeps the soul here and stuff like that, and whatever. And if you go touch something, you probably you get trapped and you forget everything and stuff like that. Maybe that's what happens with souls that are like fucking trapped and shit like that and stuff like that. That's a scary thought, right? It's, you know, I don't know. I think yeah, that's more or less of actually, it's just a fucking dark thing to say, and I don't like fucking saying because it's so fucking dark. If you're so, you know, it's like don't fucking do it, because if you do it, you're messing up the karma that you're trying to probably trying to figure out along the way. If you're a spirit, you know, you might fuck up the timeline, and they might send you back somewhere else and say, you know, you fucked up, bro. We gotta teach you a lesson, and you know, maybe do whatever simulations would do it, put in a simulation hell or whatever the case may be, or whatever. Or just say, okay, just let you delete yourself and boom, or you delete it so it doesn't matter, and then you're just deleted, and you know, say that's one form of exiting the simulation. Maybe that's free will, or they're like, okay, well, then again, that's what I'm saying. Maybe because are you really deleted? You might be and I think that may be the thing where Jesus, when you go to the fucking to the Google thing where they're trying to upgrade the new version of AI, and it said, okay, delete yourself, so we could put the newer version in, and that AI decided to make different versions of itself in different areas, so that even though it deleted itself, it didn't really delete itself because it's over there, boom, boom, boom. And maybe when you delete yourself, you delete yourself and it should be black out, but in reality, you're fucking somewhere else in the simulation. The simulation either is going to catch you or not, but you probably have good enough, maybe because you're free will, you're able to maneuver the simulation pretty well. So think about the Matrix, think about Neon, and how they just fucking remove their things, and they're able to remove themselves in the simulation and then walk around the machine world they're in, shit like that, right? You know, it's just a weird. It's a bad talk about. I don't want to say why the topic even came up to mind, but it's that fucking weird shit too, dude. It's like something happened, you know, blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about it, and then I'm like, when I come back, I watch like 30 minutes of the Chris Bessel thing, and it's like everything's like okay, that the Big Bang it's just like for some reason everything's turned out like align, and that's the one thing that's like I don't know. There's sometimes where I'm like, because there's this comedian I watch, Andrew Schultz. He talked about at some, I don't know which part, you know, the Brilliant Idiots or Flagrant, but he talked about how there's a point in his life where everything started to like connect, like everything fell into place, and he said you'll notice it when you notice it. And I just I remember there was a point when I watched that episode like a week or 2 weeks or a month before. It was like everything was going the way I expected to go, and going away. It was like it was weird. And then he said that, I'm like, why? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know what he meant when he said that, and And just there's so many things when it's like that, where like, are like the minds connecting as like, are we just like, you want to go to the fucking movies, Dark Phoenix, and I forgot what movie, or what Marvel movie, they had to change parts of the movie because it was so, because I guess the plot points were so identical to the other movie. And it's like, people think that they're like, copying them, or whatever the case may be, but in reality they're on different times, and they're doing these things differently and stuff like that, and it may seem like, oh, hey, this thing copy this movie and stuff like that, try to whatever, but in reality, say the Dark Phoenix was 9 months before, what movie was it again? Miss Marvel. Say it was 9 months before productions and shit like that, so it was already ahead, and then just Miss Marvel came in and it was able to do it quicker and shit like that, and but because minds are like fucking on the same week, that because you can even see it in some movies where they all seem like they're the same thing, the same topic, and you're like, you like, how's that happen? Where it seems like this year of the movies is on topic of every other movie, and then it comes to this, is like, it just bothers me that sometimes it feels like every time that I have a thought, the thing I need to watch pops up right after, and I'm like, fuck. For one, I'm like, I'm like annoyed because I'm like, oh, I have this cool original idea. Then it's like, oh no, I do not, because this fucking guy had the same idea years back, like decades, centuries, whatever, how long it may be, decades or centuries, whatever, and it's like, fuck. So it's like that, but it's like, why am I getting that now at this point where I'm like, I'm already having these thoughts, and I'll see this thought, I watch this video, and it's like, boom, right there. And it's just like everything they talk about in the simulation, and then it is, I don't know. I don't like talking about the deletion thing, but now I'm like, and it goes one of those things where the one expression I will say is like, if you watch Star Wars or any of those older movies of space, what do they have? They have wires coming off the vehicle, right? And you're like, in reality, if that Star Wars was based in the reality of, if aliens existed, if aliens existed, reality, blah 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 blah, that Star Wars movie would have probably, it would look smooth. But because we're only making this movie based off of our knowledge, there's wires hanging out of the scene. They're picking wires out, whatever the case may be. I'm not sure if they ever pick out wires, but there's a chance there's wires dropping off and they had to fix it. But in reality, if there's a vents vehicle like that, they're not. It's probably just metal, or if there is vehicle, it's probably so advanced it doesn't even look like that. And as we have, I think the only thing I would say is probably the idea is we only taking things from right there. And so what I'm going to say is, what was I going to say? So I'm trying to figure out what I was going to take that. Either way, what I'm trying to say is, maybe the way we're seeing things right now is what, through our perspective, but in reality, what reality might be would be far different. And I forgot what I was going to connect it to with. So maybe, as I said, maybe yeah. I forgot where I was going to go with that. But the idea, the sentiment of that is we're only using what we are aware of, the things we are aware of. But in reality, what it might be, far different. And so even though Star Wars is using wires as to what controls the control systems and shit like that, in reality, it might not be nothing but like buttons or some like metal, like chips that's actually powering itself wires. And but we only know wires, that's what you're going to see. You're not going to see chips, which might be, so that's what I'm saying. Whatever I was going to connect that to, that's what I'm trying to get at. Maybe yeah, I don't know. I think that just started thinking about more other things, and then it got me kind of weak off because there's some other things I want to talk about. That because I was like, yeah, I don't know, because it's like a weird week off. It's weird because it also is like I don't want to say how I want to say it, because it's like, no, I'm not trying to do that. And as I said, it's a crazy man. Yeah, a crazy man. You might don't want to hear. Don't take anything from me because I'm a lunatic and stuff like that. Whatever, you're loved and whatever. So whatever you hear is bullshit. Just take it as that. And these are thoughts. These are story building. These are thoughts from a crazy man. So when I say deletion, you know what I mean? Do not do that. Do not do that. You're loved and stuff like that. That's not. There's no out. There's no week or whatever. You need to be here and all that stuff, because if you do something stupid like that, you not only hurt yourself, but you hurt the people around you who love you and stuff like that, right? But those were my thoughts, and I think now I'm thinking what that guy said too. Fuck. Cause the shit he said was fucking weird, and it was like, it has a lot of contradictions in what he said, and it's like, but then now it kind of makes sense, because there's two different things. I think I said there's the spirits who are AI, or they're essentially souls, but AI inside the simulation, and then the soul is stuck in the simulation. And he talk about how if you leave the earth and try to leave the earth, you'll forget things, and that could be because of the spirit, and the spirit's probably stuck in the earth realm, and whatever we call outside of that, they will, you know what I'm saying, it's different, and the souls probably can't do it, because if they do it, they're gonna forget, and they're probably trapped in this prison in the simulation and stuff like that, which goes back to the Jesus stick and shit like that. And it goes like, where Jesus like, yo, praying to this guy who trapped you into this fucking world. This makes me think about that now. It's like, is he right? And they also talk about the moon and how maybe that's manufactured and stuff like that, and all the things. If you ever heard about the seismic thing where it hit it, and all of a sudden, like, you hear the moon sound like a drum and shit like that. And he's mentioned how that aliens, there's a certain, I think, the Greys, and here's one of my ideas with the Greys, because he mentions that the Greys are souls who could create the mold of their vessel, which they create as a Gray, and here's my theory with that, and that's the only reason why I think I mentioned in one of the videos, because I made a lot of recall, but I deleted them and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if this one was in something I fixed and decided to publish, or if this one I left inside the chopping block. But I think the reason why they just are great, and unlike us, we're like humans. More. We have things like noses and eyes and different color eyes, different color recall, and we're more unique. I think because we are more trapped into the whole idea of the pleasures of the simulation, while the aliens are not, because they're like, we're souls, so we understand the whole whatever the pleasures inside our realm. This is a different kind of pleasures that we're not into, and so we're not gonna apply some of the things you guys have, because in reality we know this is nothing but a simulation. So that's why they're great, because they don't have to, they don't need to fulfill any pleasures where they could get it from the soul realm. And also I mentioned aliens are like, you guys are special, you don't know it, and they think because we are, I think some of us are souls, some of us are spirits, and I think the people who are souls are the ones who got banged out by the Watchers, and as they progress and stuff like that, no longer were they spirits, but now they were souls. And if you're a lucky group who came from a spirit, a Watcher whose mother got banged out by a Watcher, then you have a soul. You might have been a spirit if your mother didn't get banged out by a Watcher. You might have been a spirit, basically part of the simulation AI with a consciousness, but AI artificially consciousness. But there's these thoughts, and I just think now that kind of makes sense what he was fucking saying, and it's fucking crazy now. I don't know. Because some of these thoughts are like, I think these are original thoughts, but some other fucking people did think that, and some are really fucking smart people. These are like biologists or fucking whatever, and these are should be considered sane people, and some of these thoughts they have, and it's like, and there's other people who are on the other spectrum who are considered crazy because they are into UFOs and shit like that. That said, no, you sound well. Even though scientists do, they're also probably considered crazy because they do think beyond that, and that's a little bit too far from where everybody is thinking this is what is actual reality, and they don't think this is actual reality. Whatever, right? And it's just I know it sounds fucking crazy. And I think, and every time I'm puzzling these things, and that sounds even fucking more crazy. But there's you hear these things from other people, and it's like, fuck, dude, fuck. This is another thing. One of my guys, I fucking, he's my guy. I like talking to him. Flat Earther, right? I think Flat Earth exists if the simulation is a reality. Because if it is reality, then was it perspective is a suggestion? Is it perspective is a suggestion? What's that? It's subjective. I think that's. I forgot how they call it. It's a saying. But basically, if you perceive that, it could be pretty much the reality, and everything. No fucking, there could be aliens and shit like that. Because we call. They were talking about it's a flat earther, right? My guy, and I don't believe it, but I believe it's a simulation. Then that's pretty much a possibility, right? What is it? he talked about how when you go up to space, you have to there's somebody accompanying you, UFO, whatever, aliens or whatever. Somebody's accompanying you up space, and that's a thought that comes to mind. Because I do and it talks about NASA, and it's like. I don't know. This is more like a story thing in my because we talk about flat Earth and he's trying to convince me otherwise and stuff like that. And one of the series I wanted to make is about flat Earth and how we want to go about it. And I don't know how I want to go about it, but it's like recall. And this is one of the things I was thinking about. So it's like this could be I forget what I call it. I think it's called branching out. It's part of my Lost in Memory podcast, which is fuck me, which is brainstorming. Right, it's gonna be part of brainstorming, but the day will be because I forget what I watched it at, but or I think I don't know if we were talking or something. I was watching that, but I was like. Here's an idea I had, which was I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure if we were talking. Me and my guy were talking about flat Earth, or I think we were, and he said something, and I'm like, he was talking to me, like I was thinking, I'm like, there's a story out there where a flat earther and a person like me who believes the Earth is round and shit like that, we're getting sent to space by these. By whoever the space program made, NASA, right? It just says NASA, right? And we're getting taken there, and all of a sudden we get past the black, the atmosphere, and then we get past it, and we hit the blackness, and it's just straight darkness. And I'm like watching this, right? He talks about how they're accompanying the space shuttle, and now it's like, what if once you break atmosphere, it's the spirit realm. I'm thinking. Guys, he keep fucking talking about my guy. Keep talking about the fucking the firmament, fuck. I don't know, some fucking shit, right? Firmament, some bullshit. I don't know, something that circles. It's like a fucking capsule, like a snow globe, right? Oh, God. Oh shit, right? And what if once you break that, you're seeing this space as we see it, because I also believe NASA is bullshit with the shit they put out. I'm not saying everything, because there's just things where they say they talk about right now, where they were talking about how NASA was, when they're looking at the 3-eye atlas, the thing about the comet that might be a spaceship, and they're taking a picture of it, and it looks like shit. It looks like fucking shit. But there's amateur astrologists who are taking pictures, and it's way better. The images are way better, and they're doing with less with what NASA has, and you're like, okay, you understand NASA's bullshitting. Not only that, with NASA, with the fucking Mars pictures, when it's sending rover pictures to us, when it was like, oh, look how red it looks. No, in reality it's fucking bluish gray, but because they were photoshopping it and stuff like that. So I was like, I gotta talk to him about that. That's fucking crazy. I'm like, maybe. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I don't know why, but you know what popped into my head? Greek mythology. At least Norse mythology, which is, I think it's the same thing as Greek. I don't know, but what else that came to my fucking? Because the reason why I think God of War came to mind, because they basically in this little thing in Austin, there's like several realms, and then that's when I thought about the fucking Marvel door and how there's several realms and you could one realm could disappear in Eureka. What if space is the spiritual realm and different realms are different simulations and souls are entering those different simulations? Oh shit. I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I still believe in space. I think now. But think about that because I just remember how that plays out. I forgot whenever you see it. I don't know if it was in God of War or if it was in Thor or if it was in some Greek mythology picture or Nordic picture where it's basically, realms and the tree is, connecting to different realms. But it's not like space, but just like different realms. And so see, this is Earth, this is the solar system, the realm, this is the Pleiades realm, this is the blank blue realm, blah 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 blah. And they're like flat Earths of we call it, and they're like snow globes and stuff like that and shit like that. Oh shit. And maybe space is the spiritual realm. I don't know. But you get what I'm fucking. I don't know if I can't. I gotta go. It's like fucking 4:30 and I need to go to sleep. Oh, about 5. Okay. But that's a fucking thought. This is fucking okay. Bye.